But the reality is like when you have these novel, hard situations like camping and still finding a way to quote unquote get it in, it actually in some senses makes it easier because it's novel, because it's difficult, because it's unique. It makes it a little bit more exciting to actually find a way to get it in, because you're like, oh, look at me, I'm finding a way to get it in. I'm here camping. I'm so mentally tough. I'm so committed that I'm still going to do it. But what's more impressive to me is the mundane, not the novel. Like when you're on day 50 and it's rainy and it's cold outside and it's just another day, you've gotten used to it and you're still finding a way to get it in. We often overpraise the novel and the exciting at the expense of the mundane and the consistent, but that is where all the magic happens. Because it's easy. I mean, like it's Instagram worthy, if you will. You see that and it makes it a little bit more exciting because it's more difficult. And I don't know what you'd call this, maybe the paradox of inconvenience. As something rises in inconvenience, it becomes almost easier if that inconvenience is a short amount of time. So if it's not inconvenient for a really long time, but if it's super inconvenient for a short amount of time, that almost makes it easier because it kind of builds to the lore, it builds the legend of what you're doing. Versus if it's super convenient, quote unquote, you have cold plunge, you have a pull-up bar in your room, you can just step outside and go run. Like all of that is very convenient, but because it's so convenient, it loses its novelty and it becomes inconvenient and becomes difficult. So when you see stuff on social media, it's cool. Like if they're doing cool things, if they're finding a way to get it in, like that's cool. Congratulate them for that. But I'm more excited. I'm more impressed by the people who do it day in and day out without that big novel aspect, because that's tough to me. Another thing that I was thinking about today, so I'm recording this just after I completed day 9 of this 100-day challenge. So I just got back from my run. I did everything else. Showered and I'm recording this. But as I was standing outside the cold plunge, the water set to 40 degrees, I was thinking about the negative effects of over rumination, of overthinking your action. Standing outside of a cold plunge and looking at that water is infinitely worse than just taking the lid off and getting into the cold plunge. You suffer so much more in thought than you actually do in action, because you just build it up. You're like, oh, you try to negotiate your way out of it. Oh, I'm not going to do it to this. I'm tired. It's already cold. I don't want to do it. I'll just do it in an hour. Let me go warm myself, whatever it is. And you start to just think about it and it's in the back of your mind, versus if you just take the lid off and get in the water. It's like literally like 10 seconds of discomfort and then your body starts to regulate and you're fine. And you can apply that to literally everything. If you want to start this podcast, if you want to create a business, if you want to write a book, if you want to start your own physical challenge, if you want to train for an Ironman or a marathon, whatever it is, the more time that you spend thinking about it, in my opinion, the less you're likely to actually do it, because the rational part of your brain, quote unquote, will start to come up with reasons why you shouldn't. Oh, don't write that book. You don't have anything to say. You don't have the time to do the research. What if your friends and family don't like it? What if it doesn't come of anything? Versus if you just have an idea and implement immediately and iterate on the fly. So start a podcast. All you need is a phone, and then slowly figure out, what's a good microphone? What's a good camera? How do I go about marketing it? Or fill in the thing that you want to do and just implement it immediately. The more time you spend thinking about it, the more you suffer and the less likely you are to do it. And that's literally every day with this cold plunge. I don't think about it at this point. It's like a skill that I've started to kind of develop, where it's like my mind kind of just blocks it out until it's time for it to come up. And then I literally just walk up, take the lid off and get into the water. No thought. Because action, you just want to get it done. That way you can iterate and improve whilst you're doing it. That's my 2 cents on this challenge. So if you guys want to hop in with me, do it with me. Text me, message me, whatever it is. We can be accountability buddies. Like I said, I just finished day 9. So, Wednesday will be day 10. Thursday, this will drop and it'll be a day 11. So just hop in. It's 100 days and maybe it'll go longer. I just did a podcast with Crew Mahoney that's not out yet. It'll come out in a couple of weeks, but he's on day like almost 2,900 of consecutive days of running at least a mile outside. Like, you don't start these things, these challenges, with the expectation of them going years. You just focus on the day at a time. And for me, I'm committed to 100 days. I'm building that habit of making promises to myself and keeping them. And we'll see what happens from there. Because once you can make promises to yourself, and this is laid out way more in our podcast with Crew, but just a little taste, it's the base for everything else. Like, once you say, this is who I am, this is what I do, and you know yourself and you are the type of person that follows through with it, then you can do pretty much anything, because you know you will. Like, if I say I'm going to create a podcast and I'm going to post 2 episodes every week, like, success is inevitable, because by the bare fact of me showing up and doing it each day, it will continue to grow. So this side note, that episode's coming, but it's a great episode. You guys are going to really, really like it.